All right, let's get started, and we'll let other individuals join us as they see fit.
Alrighty, so we are in our mastermind call and we're getting into some good stuff, the meat of it. But first of all, I wanted to just do a little bit of recap on the rally and the thoughts of the people that attended the rally and just a couple of highlights from the rally. So I do have a couple of things to share, so I will share my screen. Okay, so we did have the relaunch of the seedlings line, so I'm super excited about this. Where's the seedlings line? Oh wait, you know what? I pulled it up in my email. That's what I did. So this came out in convention. And I ordered the seedlings bundle, but stuff went out of stock and I never got it. But I have been using the baby wipes for makeup remover, and they lowered the price of it, which is really good, and you can get the bundle. So I'm definitely going to get the bundle because this is something that I'm going to use at my vendor events to put on the table so that it's clear that we have toxic-free baby care now. And then, this is a great thing. You can add on the $45 and buy someone a, baby kit for a baby shower now. So it'll have everything that they need. They have baby wipes, baby oil, diaper rash, linen spray, body wash, shampoo. So the linen spray was not available before, and I think the body wash and shampoo was not combined like that. So they threw in a couple new things, and they have some different sizes of the wipes. So I'm super, super excited about that, and everyone should have that in their email if you want to know the prices of everything. And then they posted the graphics in the Happy Oiler Family page as well. So the other exciting thing was the revamp to the Elite Express. So anyone at this point in time, hey Jennifer, I hope you can talk today. I'm just going through some of the recaps of the rally stuff right now.
I'm sorry, really quickly, Tashina, she might have to go in and give the app access to her microphone. I think that might be the issue she's having. So I'll put that out there now. So maybe that's something she can fiddle with, and hopefully we can hear her today.
Okay, so the Elite Express has been revamped. This is a relaunch. So that means that wherever you are starting today, you can now go into this. And if, for example, you're like already executive or whatever, and you were in the middle of qualifying for something, you get grandfathered in. So I really love how they changed the beginning of this, because how it worked before was you had 3 months from the time you hit star to go to executive. Now it's 2 months from senior star. So that's awesome because as we mentioned in our rally, there's occasions where there's people who have accidentally hit star because they just wanted to buy a lot of product, or we were trying to motivate somebody to hit star. And so we strategically stack underneath them, but that person might not be ready to grow and to build. It's usually by the time that you're senior star that you like try to see it and are ready to grow and build. And so there's some people that we automatically disqualified them, even though we were trying to motivate them. And then that wouldn't even be their fault because they hit star and then the clock automatically started. So they recognized that and they changed it where it's now from the point you get senior star to executive in 2 months. And then they just took what the average people that are running fast are doing and they adjusted the rest of the times. And so from the time you hit executive, you then have 4 months. So if you think about it, senior star is 2,000 and then executive is 4,000 OGV. So you have 2 months to double your OGV. And then silver is like 2.5 times. So they give you 4 months. So the timing on it does kind of make sense. And then you have 8 months to hit gold. So you have a little bit more time because there's a bigger stretch in there. You have to do 2.5 times. So they give you twice as long. Platinum, you go for, so gold, I think is 35,000 in OGV. Platinum is 100,000. So again, each time they're giving you more time because you got to go 2.5 times your OGV. And it's a lot more, so they're giving you more time. And then diamond and 8. And then from the time you hit senior star now, if you can do all of these ranks, so Felicia, anybody else here that's not a senior star, if you can hit all these ranks in this time period, you will get something in addition to that. So this is the link. I'll post it in the, well, it was already posted actually, but it tells you all the things that you get. So you also get a bunch of rewards points now. So you could just start like building up your stock of stuff to share with people as well. So I don't think you got those rewards points, but you get a bunch of different stuff that you get before. But I'm excited about this. I think the way that they changed it makes lots of sense.
Really quickly, Tashina, did they detail what the express rewards point were in difference of like your essential rewards that you get? Did they detail any of that? Because I was kind of lost on that.
I didn't even see the whole video, so.
Because I'm seeing each one, like for executive and 2, you get 2,000 express reward points. Like, what is that good for? That's what I guess.
Hold on a second.
Do you know? Go ahead if you know. So.
Oh. So Tashina, I'll chime in. I do know in that group with the Young Living Rally, we asked her what exactly those points would be and what it would do. And basically those points will rack up to being able to choose certain products and certain things, but not all of them are going to be just strictly Young Living. So they want to, I guess, I mean, and she didn't know specifically all of what those prizes would be that you could use with the bonuses, but she was just saying that some of them are going to be Young Living, some of them are just going to be like wellness stuff that's going to work well with the lifestyle too.
So I'm wondering, so that's kind of cool because last time it was very clear designated stuff, like you would get a bag, you would get some oils, you would get an iPad or whatever. So I'm thinking that maybe some of that stuff will still be there, but now you get to pick what you want rather than at one time, like maybe I already got 3 tablets. I don't care about getting a gold iPad. So, or I don't need another gym bag or whatever. So maybe that's what they're going to do. Like they're going to pool the stuff that they used to have. And then now you get to pick what exactly you want, including if you wanted to get a 30 oil kit or whatever. So.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Any other questions?
Can you guys hear me today?
Yes.
Yay.
You can hear me today?
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm on
hear
the same phone I've always been on, so I don't know why you guys couldn't hear me the other day. I have a cold today, so hopefully I don't sound too bad. Oh shoot, did I lose you for a minute?
There you
Jace came
go.
and jumped on my lap.
You.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so with the Elise Express, is it, because I hit star like way back before I even started taking anything seriously. And then I've been senior star for a while now. So am I grandfathered into the old one or am I in the new one?
And if you hit senior star a while ago, but you never hit executive in that 3-month period, so
that
now
would be correct.
Okay, so now your job is to hit executive and then run for the next one. So your job is to hit executive. When you hit executive, then you want to hit silver and 4, gold and 8, platinum and 8, diamond and 8.
Okay.
So I've never hit any of these ever. Like it took me, I think, 9 months to hit silver. So now my goal is when I hit gold. So again, you want to think of that. Like one of the calls that we had, Dana talked about how the game plan says, make sure you got your next leg. When you're close to executive, you want to make sure that you have your PGV leg in place that will then be your gold leg, because that's how you run the way that you should be. What happens sometimes is people don't have their legs in place, and so then they build from scratch, and then they're not able to get the one. So right now, that would be my gold. Like I have to find my gold leg, but I also have to find my platinum leg too. So I have my gold leg. I don't have a platinum, but before I run for gold, I have to have my platinum leg in place so that when I hit gold, then I have 8 months to hit platinum and I'm back in the running. And then while I'm platinum, I got to find my diamond leg, and then I have 8 months to hit diamond. So whenever you drop out, then you just look at the next rank.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just barely senior star. I have one leg, so I need another leg. But yeah.
So
Okay.
so me just starting, what does that mean? So executive.
So did you get a chance to start the training at all?
No, I'll be honest, I haven't.
Okay. So if you go here
Okay.
into the training, it'll tell you at the start what you need to do star to make star,
Okay.
and it'll
Okay.
give you the training,
watch
and
it.
then you go into senior star,
Mhm.
and it'll give you the training, and then it'll executive. So your goal is to hit star your
Mhm.
first month. I mean, if you were, the month is still early, you could still get 3 classes in if you want it, and you can hit star. Then your goal would be able to hit senior star in the next 2 months. And that's when this would then start for you. Once you hit senior star, your goal would be to get executive 2 months after that, and silver after that.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, and then we have the other
I can't
promo.
Tashina,
Yep.
so have they totally stopped doing the other Elite Express?
You
in
get
lieu of-
grandfathered in.
Okay.
So example, say you're an executive and you were running for silver in 6, you would still have your 6 months to hit it if you're in the running. You get grandfathered in, but now you'll be switched over to this new plan where you get the express reward points instead.
Okay, so if somebody's a senior, if she made senior star, but she's running for executive in 3, does she still get 3 months to do it?
Hold on a second.
I don't mean to sound stupid. I really don't understand.
You had 3 months from star though. When did she hit star?
I don't know for sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
but
it would be the exact same thing. It really would be the exact same thing, because what it was before, you had executive and 3 from star. So you had, when you became a star, you then had to get senior star next month, and then you had 2 months for executive. So as long as she became senior star, the month after she hit star, it would be the exact same.
I like that they changed it to senior star. It makes a lot more sense.
It
They
does.
were more serious about, yeah. I mean, I still didn't make it in time, but, you know.
Yeah, because to me, it was like such a huge jump. I was like, you know, to when a person would hit senior star, it was almost, there were lots of times where it was like, oh, you now have a month to hit executive, but you got to double your OGV to do it. Like it was, to me, it was overwhelming. So, any other questions?
Say, let's go ahead and start and move into the training for tonight.
Okay. So again, there were some graphics and stuff, so please check the page for the graphics to share for what came out of All right, so we are in the share section, and the first thing that was talked about was to continue visiting the Young Living blog. So honestly, how often do everyone on this call visit Young Living blog?
You know what? I can't tell you the last time I've actually visited this blog. Probably was like a year ago, and I didn't even know they still updated it, to be honest. So I'm looking at it recently, and they have some really good articles on here now.
Yep. So Felicia, for your information, and maybe Shakita too, because you guys are newer. So we do have a pretty amazing blog out there. So I'll hit on all these tabs, but just Jenny and Andrea, do you guys get an opportunity to visit the blog regularly?
I would say I'd probably check it maybe once every couple of weeks, unless I'm doing something. Like if I'm on a project, I'll check the blog just to see what they've posted. They've got a funky search engine. They got to really work on that search engine because I put in keywords that should have brought up what I needed, and I got just about everything. Like, you would have thought that I searched for the word "the."
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I can agree with you on that for sure.
Yeah, so that's my one big issue, but there's scads of articles and there is a lot of crossover. So like if you're looking for something for Mother's Day, you may find that same article under DIY, under gifts for her, under at
Yeah.
home or whatever. And
Yep.
which is nice because sometimes you don't think of how to find what you need. So I like that they multi-index the things.
Yep.
I don't have much time to check almost anything, but I would say I would check the blog probably as frequently as I hit some of the Facebook groups that I should read but just don't have time to.
Right.
But I've now bookmarked it, so it makes it a little easier to get to it.
Right. Jenny, have you had chance to visit the blog and use it a lot? Any comments you have
No,
about?
I forget about it too. I get most of my information from you guys and our Happy Oilers group and Amber's group a lot. I love the graphics we get, and I try to stay on top of that and share it with everybody that's on my team because yeah, it's a lot of good info, but I forget about the blog too. Sorry, I'm trying to
Yeah,
make dinner.
no problem. No problem. So they post articles very regularly, like every 3 days. So that's awesome. They're on all different topics. I do try to make it a point to check the blog at least 3 times a week, post it to my business page, and then share it to the Happy Oilers. Sometimes people notice, sometimes they don't. Sometimes usually there is 1 or 2 people that are like, oh, that was cool. And then as you can see, we have these topics here. If you're looking for some articles specific, it'll group them under, I don't even know what that's supposed to be, but mind and spirit, healthy and fit. We also do have additional infographics here. So, if you've ran out of your Vital 180, and this to me is like one of the awesomest things. Like there are a lot of videos here. There are a lot of recipes. There are a lot of do-it-yourself stuff. There's like tons and tons. And people that never ever go on their Young Living website will email me, that only pop around once every 6 months, and they're like, will send me something from someone else that's doing a make and take class for some other company or something. And I'm like, we can do that. We have all the tools to do that. I'm just not the make and take person. So I haven't been publishing or have a class like that. But if you want to have a cooking class, we got you. You want to have a make and take class for just skincare, we got you. There's like so much stuff here with the videos to show you how to do it. And then just ones that have the recipes. And then if you only want to specifically look at cooking recipes, and then stuff for home. And then again, there's the search engine. So, we talked a little bit last week about making sure that you answer questions with tools. And I would 100% agree with Andrea that this is probably the worst search engine I've ever experienced in my life. But you can find some stuff. So I just put in pets. And like she said, this has pets. Some of these don't. I don't know why this came up, but one of them came up with pets. So if somebody asks me the question or sends me something that says, hey, can you use oils with dogs? Or I heard that you can't use oils with dogs at all. Instead of me just saying off the top of my head, oh, yes, you can use it, I can get a blog post and say, not only can you use it, we have a whole line formulated for it. So I use this to answer people's questions all the time. Someone says, do we have a hair detangler? I'm not a do-it-yourself person, but the blog had an article in 2015. I might as well check. Oh, and they had another one, or in October, and they had another one in June. we do have that. So very frequently when people ask the question about, do we have this or does someone have that, especially because I'm not a do-it-yourselfer, I will go to the blog, type that in, and post a blog article about it. All righty.
That's a really good idea. I hadn't thought about doing it that way, Tashina, but that makes sense because a lot of times when we're not the authority, it calms their argumentative side.
Yes.
So that's brilliant. I'm going to use that. And Julie mentioned, she sent a chat, she said to hit the feedback and tell them about the search engine because they want to know that kind of stuff. So that's something good to, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. All right. So now we can go into some of the videos that were talked about, and I'll stop sharing. No real reason for me to share. So the first one was talking about inviting. Anyone want to give their thoughts on what they appreciated, some tips and tricks that video was talking about?
I can start, Tashina, because I feel like this is probably something that should be like at the beginning, that people should know when they first get started, because sometimes we get so excited about, you know, our oils, our products, about sharing, and some people get excited about the income opportunity that we vomit like all over individuals. And so, you know, we start calling everyone and we tell them about the company, this, that, and the other. And when we're inviting them, we're not doing something that's very, very important, and that's listening. So I think Scott hit on it pretty good in that video where he was talking about how important it is to have a conversation and connect with individuals. And he had the 3 guides that kind of, the guide that walks you through that and why connecting with an individual is so important, because we need to know what their needs are and see if Young Living is even a fit for them. If it's not a fit for them, like, why would we vomit all over them and just try to tell them about it? You know, from our perspective, it's not going to resonate with them. So I thought that was very, very important. It's just like connecting and listening to people and finding a way to serve and assist them. So I'll stop there. I'll let somebody else share too.
Awesome. Jenny or Andrea, any thoughts on that first video?
I liked, what I really liked about that first video was, I think, especially coming into the business where I'm at, when you say inviting, I think of inviting to a party, inviting to an event, inviting to this. And they really broke it down and were like, no, every time you share a piece of information, you're inviting them to experience Young Living. You're inviting them to gain knowledge. You are inviting them to hear something. So just having a conversation or just doing this or giving somebody a sample or what, that's all inviting. And I had never thought about it that way, because inviting is a process anyway. So that's just the first step in the process of inviting them to a class. But we got to think about it that way and keep doing that. I really appreciated the way they broke that down.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that too. You know, I had and they continue to talk about, you know, how the more you live the process, the more easier it is. And, you know, the way you smell, and, you know, people will be curious, and then it's your job to like be ready to jump in there when they give you the opportunity to. And like, I went to the doctor's office on Friday. I have my bag, which has the oils in it. I smell like the oils. The nurse asked me about the flu shot, and I was like, no, I don't get a flu shot. And I think that they thought I was going to get in a fight with them, but I wasn't. She was like, why don't you get a flu shot? And I was like, because I don't need it. She was like, what do you mean you don't need it? I'm like, I never get sick. My brother feels like he's on his deathbed, has a fever, and is dying, and I'm giving him stuff. I take my apple cider vinegar, I take my honey, I take all my stuff and my oils, and I don't get sick. And I ended up giving her an invitation to the rally before I left, because we started that conversation. The doctor asked me the same thing. I didn't get from her that she wanted an invitation, so I didn't invite her to the rally. But I had the same conversation. It was available there. So I would definitely agree with that's a great point. And to just be aware and to listen, as Anthony said, listen to people. Because when I talked to the nurse, she was like, really? Your allergies are better? She's like, I do apple cider vinegar too, but my allergies are still out of control. And so I was giving her additional stuff to add to her apple cider vinegar and telling her how she needs oils and toxic-free living and all the other things added to it. So I would definitely agree. That's a good point to remember. Listen, 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 listen. Always be ready to invite. And then when they give you that, they open that door where you see you can, be ready to give them something. Jennifer, any thoughts from you?
I don't know if she can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now,
Can you hear
Jennifer.
me? Okay, sorry, I'm
Good.
making dinner. I didn't review the videos, so I'm sorry, but yes, I agree with sharing and just making it what will help them, and yeah.
Okay, awesome. And Aisha, you've joined us. Did you get a chance to take a look at the info at all? And or did you have, if not, did you have any comments of inviting or even any questions from anybody on of how to, I don't know, make it better? What other tips were in that video? All right, if there's no other questions or comments, then we can move on to the next video. Highlight the opportunity. So Anthony, any thoughts on that one?
Okay, so this is another huge one for me, because like I was saying, when Dana and I did network marketing years ago, and the way that it was introduced to us, it was all about money, 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 and about the opportunity, and not much training was given on the actual product and the service that was being provided. So it's funny. I even think of now I still get approached by other companies all the time, and they always lead with a comp plan, and it's very pushy and it comes off as very salesy, and so usually I don't gravitate it. They can legitimately have a good product or service that I can benefit from or use, and I will not gravitate to it. And so one of the things that even they talked about in the video that's so very important about highlighting the opportunity is sometimes because we feel like we're going to be pushy about talking about the opportunity, we don't mention it at all. So that's not good. But the other side of it is just leading with that so much so that it takes the forefront. And so like Scott mentioned, it really kind of goes back to listening, because even like Felicia and I had a conversation yesterday at the end of the rally, and my goal is just to help people to see what the opportunity can do for them in their life specifically, because you know there are people wherever you are financially, some people are like, I make 6-7 figures, so why do I need your opportunity? But you might be starved of time. An individual who may be struggling financially may have all the time in the world. So when we're talking about time freedom, they're like, I could care less about that. But maybe they need help paying a car note, or adding to money for their bills, or even just paying for their oils. And so when you start with listening, you find a way that Young Living is able to fill that need, because for the most part, everybody could use either more time or more money. That's just the way it is. And so we have to figure out what is important to that individual and address it that way, not push our own agenda.
Yeah, definitely. Remembering that Young Living is wellness, purpose, and abundance, right? And so We know everybody needs the wellness, and if they're attracted to that, we want them to fall in love with the products, and that is part of the first step. But some people do need purpose, like they need the community, and some people do need abundance, and there is some of that. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, you can always find a way to share some of other people's stories. Like for me, I'm in it for the time freedom. I do not need money, but I would much rather spend my time teaching classes, becoming certified and as a health coach, doing more in my preaching work, and spend 60 hours a week doing that instead of 45 of my hours going to GM. All right. Any questions or any other comments from Andrea? Did you have any questions or comments about it?
With that video, I actually watched it twice because I liked it so much. Because I really like the way that they role played the bad approach and the good approach. And although the bad approach was so bad, it was hysterical, you could see some truths in it. And if you pulled out little bits of what he was saying and then saw how he said it differently, you can take from that and extrapolate on it. So whatever we might want to say, think about how we would alter it so that it would be much more friendly and approachable rather than confronting or in your face, or it just turns you off. So I really appreciated hearing this little specific ways how they altered how they said things. That's why it was strange, but I watched it once and then I did something and I came back, so I'm going to watch that again because I knew there was more that I could pull from it. It seemed like it was a no big deal, but there was a lot of information hidden in there.
Yeah, definitely. And as you guys know, I try to listen to some of the game plan at the same time just because it's a different perspective, but the same exact system basically. And one of the things that, Sarah Harnish says, she always mentions the opportunity in every class. We need to not be scared of that. The people that grow fast always do. At our rally, Catherine Tristain, she always mentions the opportunity each time. Shannon Hudson, all of the people, Lindsay Teague Moreno, all of the people that grow fast build a culture where it is okay to share. It is okay for you to get your kit paid for. Like that should be the standard. We shouldn't be afraid to have a person get their kit paid for. We know that this might not be everyone's passion, but we know this is going to help their health, and that definitely they have their sister, mother, cousin that deserve to have their health helped as well. So we should make it, using the correct words and not being pushy and not being salesy, a standard where you reach star. Like that's the way that it should be. And that's the way that everyone benefits. That's the way that people stay on ER. That's the way people can afford to try other products when we get them to star. Any other comments on sharing the opportunity? Alrighty, so then the next video was, what does it take?
So refresh my memory with this one, Tashina. This was the one that was talking about prospecting, right?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't finish all of that one, so I can give you the little tidbits that I got, but if you'd like to go first and refresh my memory, I'll follow you then.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm gonna probably be mixing up a little bit because I listened to the game plan as well, so it's not necessarily very, very clear in my head what points I'm gonna say from which. But again, it does talk about prospecting and making sure you hone in on your why, knowing why you're doing this, listening to other people, and adding value to their lives, and being consistent, making sure you're doing it on a consistent basis. If you're not, and Sarah Harnish mentions very clearly, everyone is different. Everyone is going to share in a different way. Some people are going to share with classes, once a week classes. But then we also talked about how some people might want to do one-on-ones. That's fine. But in order to get the same results from 4 classes a week, you would have to do 15 one-on-ones a month to get the same results. And it depends on your circumstances, right? You may want to take twice as long or 4 times as long because your health, because of your job situation, and that's perfectly fine. But the consistency, making sure we build our lists, making sure we prospect regularly, and making sure that we're inviting and sharing regularly, that's what it takes. And just to throw in a little bit more too, like on Monday, we had a corporate call for the Spanish market here that they're going to start doing once a month. And they had Lula Schuler, who is a diamond that's on Scott and Brenda's team with us. She's cross-line diamond. She has a royal crown diamond, or a crown diamond underneath her in Mexico. And she just broke 2 platinums last month. And she said every time she breaks another high rank, someone hits gold, platinum, or diamond, the question is like, how did you do it? And she's like, the same way you do everything. You consistently do 4 classes. You consistently follow up. You consistently get people on ER. That's what Help 5 is about. So they just did it for 3 years straight, and they never took a break. And that's how they got platinum. They're not going to tell you another secret. Like that's what it takes. And when it gets hard, go back to your why to drive that consistency. Stay connected to your group and your upline to drive that consistency when you want to take a break.
I will kind of hit on that a little bit, because I think it was interesting that Catherine talked about yesterday when she, was it 72 or 77?
77.
77. So when she enrolled 77 members, and people are kind of in awe, like, wow, you enrolled 77 members. Like, how did you do it? And like Tashina was talking about, like, she stayed consistent, but I like that she actually mentioned that she spoke to almost 800 people. And so it was just interesting, because I think you were talking to one of our team members, and she was like, oh, all I got to do is talk to 800 people. No problem. Because that's her personality, but it proved a point. Like, in this business and industry, like, if you don't quit, you will be successful. And how fast or slow you want to do it is completely up to you. But if you stop completely sharing, then you're stagnant. And so it's going to take, there's going to be times where people are telling you, like, no, I don't want to be healthier. I don't want to have better sleep. I feel fine. And you're looking at them, they got like snot coming out of their nose, like bags are like down to their elbows. And you're like, you need this. And you're trying to like get this into their minds, or they're like, I don't need more money. And it's like their house is falling apart. And like Tashina mentioned, like, you have to go back to your reason why you got involved and started in the first place, because your why is going to be bigger than them. It's going to be bigger than all the no's. It's going to be bigger than the 77 or 100 people that you enroll, right? So that's just so important, like, to commit to yourself and say, I'm in this for the long haul.
I'll add one thing to that too, and this is Sarah Harnish, but I do appreciate in her book, one thing she says is, be so busy teaching classes that you don't even notice the no's, right? Like, you're so busy talking to so many people, you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that person. Oh yeah, oh yeah, they said no, whatever, because you're still moving, like you're actively talking to more people. And then another thing she says is, diamond is diamond, whether it takes you 3 years or it takes you 10 years. The average takes them 10 years. Diamond is diamond, right? That income is still what it is. So just stay consistent. And she's like, it's a mathematical certainty that if you stay consistent and you don't quit, you're going to get to diamond.
Yeah. And so whether it takes 5 years or 10 years, it's still, like Adam Green talks about, it's shorter than the 40-year plan of working a job that you hate, So even if it takes you 15 years, it's not 40.
Even if it took you 40 years to get $40,000 a month, when I retire, I'm not getting $40,000 a month from my job. I'm not.
That's true. That's true.
But it's not going to take me 40 years. It's going to take me a lot less. Andrea, did you have anything to share on this section?
I have to admit, with prepping for my first class today, kind of absorbed a lot of my time this week. And then I had an all-day workshop I was at in Raleigh yesterday. So I just peeked at this video. I didn't even get to watch all of it. That's as far as I got. I'm going to have to catch up during this week. And we have our circuit assembly on Saturday. So, but at least the party's behind me, or the class is behind me. I keep saying party. I was in Tupperware too long, so I keep saying party.
You can say party. Parties are fine too. It can be an oil party.
It's definitely a class though.
Yeah, I know. All right, so that's fine. We'll move on to the next one. So the next two really go together, and it's using your tools. And we have done a whole 30-minute session on that. So I know, Anthony, you got a lot to say, and we want to kind of wrap up within the next 7 to 12 minutes because we want to talk about convention as well.
Okay, so really quickly, I want to address tools and why they're so important. Let's start with the simple fact that a lot of people, they trust us, but they don't always trust our judgment, right? And we have close personal relationships where sometimes we're not seen as the authority, even though we may know quite a bit. We might be quite educated, especially when it comes to certain aspects of health or when it comes to oils in general. But the nice thing about a tool is a tool gives you leverage. And so I think that's sometimes something that people don't always think about. Like, I'm only one person, Dana's only one person. If I can equip someone with a tool to find an answer to what they need. So let's say they are asking about, where can I get oils? And tell me about these oils. And I can't get them to a class, or I can't sit down with them one-on-one. Like, I can send them a Simply Sharing guide. Dana and I have a YouTube video where we've done a whole intro to oils video that's about 45 minutes long. It walks through the whole starter kit. I can use that tool and send it to them and say, hey, I'll call you back, or you call me back whenever you finish, so that I don't have to sit for 45 minutes and now explain to them and walk them through the kit. So when you equip someone with a tool, like, especially when they get started, Dana and I give out reference guides for all of our new team members, because we want them to understand what they have so that you don't have to be the authority. Young Living provides plenty of information on their website. We have Vital 180. We have the new YL Central that's coming out. So there's no reason to bog yourself down unnecessarily with trying to be the tool when you have so many tools to use. And so it's important that you use them. Go ahead.
Real quick, I'll just add to that too. And then also, everybody has different personalities. So the very first class that I was invited to was Tashina's class, and I was super, super late to that class. And it wouldn't have mattered what anybody at the class told me, because I'm a researcher and I'm going to read it for myself. So what impressed me is all the literature that I got and all the information that I got later that I went home and dissected and made a choice on. So sometimes with certain people, you might be inviting them to classes, or you might invite them to come sit down and talk to you, and that just might not be quite their personality. But if you send them a link to something to look at and be able to research it, they might gravitate to that. Or on the flip side, you might send them literature. You're like, what do you mean? I sent you all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, I ain't never read that. I ain't watched that video. Like, you got to sit down and talk to me and show me. So it's important to use different tools.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things that I don't remember which of the videos that that Brenda mentioned. Ask people, does a video work? Does a brochure work? Like, when you get a chance, ask them what's the best way. And Shannon, I remember in her executive, and I know you guys have been doing your YouTube channel for a long time, but I remember in one of her executive and above trainings, she talked about the importance of creating your own tools too, because she's been doing it through the Google Hangouts forever, and I've started to do that. I had somebody come onto my website today, and I saw it. I got a Google thing saying, hey, contact this person. And then they went on it a second time today. I was like, oh my God, I got to contact them. So I looked at the questions, and they said, oh, I'm looking for makeup and skincare and something else. And so I was able to go to my YouTube channel, grab my own video that I talked about the Savvy Kit, and skincare and just send it to them with a graphic. So if you haven't started doing that, when we had our rally yesterday, you know, I went on and I Instagram lived it, and then I saved it to my phone, and I uploaded some of those videos to the YouTube. I did a little intro of the outside. I did one in the inside. So next time somebody asks me, what's a rally? I can send them a 1.5-minute video. Oh, this is what a rally looks like. And here's the outside of the Caustic Center. So you know exactly what building to go to. So I really love that idea. So you can still be the expert, but you can create your own tools and still be the expert. But don't go out of your way to do it. Use all of the other tools on Vital 180 and they have been created for you as well.
I'd actually like to add just something here real quick. Talking about tools and the new YL Central. Last night on the rally, Benjamin and Elaine, I'm going to mispronounce it, Perkis, we got sidetracked and decided to investigate through YL Central, and Young Living has uploaded their own PowerPoint slide presentations for multiple things, including, I've forgotten what they call it, but it's basically an intro to oils, and these slides are gorgeous. I mean, breathtaking, bright, colorful, amazing, with notes, speaker's notes on the sides and everything. So you definitely got to check that toolkit out.
Yeah, and then Vital 180 has tons of tools too, guys. So we've talked about it in the past. We got the guides here. We got the shareable graphics. And again, we did a whole 30-minute training on this. So if you're not on Dana and Anthony's YouTube channel, go on there and look for that video where we talk about some of our specific favorite tools to get a little bit more in that. But in the video, he talks about, they gave the illustration about fixing a car. You don't just walk out there with your hands to fix your car, and you always use the right tool for the right job. So again, investigate all the tools. The blog is a tool. These calls are tools. If you want more people on these calls, send them a link from YouTube. Your upline is a tool. The rallies are tools. Upline classes are tools. There's so many tools. Leverage, leverage, leverage. That is the beauty of network marketing. And the last video was just on the art of listening. I think we've touched on that a lot. I think we made it clear. This is a relationship business. We need to listen, 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 give, 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 find a need. When they open the door and they're asking a question, that's when we jump in. Before that, our job is to listen, find a need, and give. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything else about that.
Yeah, just to add to that really quickly, like, people talk about things that they're passionate about. So I know for me, like, if someone asks me about music, like, I don't shut up about music. And so when you develop the art of listening, like, you have to sometimes learn to spur people on, because some people are not talkative. And so you can try the phrase, "Oh, really? Tell me more about that." Or, "How do you like that? How's that worked out for you?" You know, so I think Scott used the example in one of the videos of his buddy was unsatisfied with his job, and he was like, "Oh, really? Tell me more about that." And the more that his friend got talking, he was like, "You know what? Yeah, I do need to do something about that." So that was the moment that Scott was like, "Okay, well, I don't know if this is for you or not, but this is what me and my wife have been doing." So it made me really think of, you know, if we have a talkative personality, it is a lot harder to develop the art of listening, because we just want to express so much, like, the information that we have. But sometimes just let them go, and then just wait for that opportunity. There's a point that that they'll all hit where you can then find a way to service them. So that's so important.
All right, so in the last 5 minutes or so, we just want to talk about our most important tool, which is the Young Living Convention. And the reason why it is so important that you get your ticket immediately is because registration for classes is on the 13th. There are certain classes from the doctors that sell out immediately. The YL Spa sells out immediately. So just some of the things that you can experience there. There is a spa where you can get facials and massages. Dana usually works there every convention. So there is YL Fit classes. There is going to be a Cirque du Soleil performance at the end. There is a 5K or a 1 mile walk that you can do. And then you can visit the actual Young Living farm. You can participate in the process. That is such faith building. So if you don't have your ticket to convention, you need to get it this week. Hopefully everyone has done their taxes. Use your tax money to bless yourself. Salt Lake City is a great vacation, actually. It is like Colorado. Like it was pretty awesome. I enjoy going out there now for my summer vacation. So if you don't have your ticket to Young Living Rally, it explodes your business. I can't explain how important it is. It explodes your business, but there's so much education, and that's the reason why. Like that, it gives you talking to other leaders and learning from doctors, from Harvard professors that they have brought on board. Just gives you, no one can ever tell me that I'm not with the best company. No one can ever tell me that there's better oils out there, because I went and I saw the process myself, and I heard from the doctors that we have on staff, and I heard about the 17 tests that they do. Like, my faith in the company and what we're trying to do is just unshakable because of Young Living.
Yeah, I want to kind of quickly add to that, just because, like I talked about yesterday, I didn't want to go to convention when we first went. And I think the first year I went to get education on the business. So I learned the comp plan, and any class that had to do with men and the business I took. But it was very interesting when we went last year, which was our second year going. And I took all of the classes that had to do with education on the oils and on the body. And hands down, that's probably some of the best classes I've ever been to. That were, they really found the speakers who do them have really found their niche, because they take all that information, and usually the classes are 20-30 minutes or something like that, and they're able to give you stuff that you can tangibly work with. And so every year I go, like, I still have my recordings. I have audio recordings that I listen to from time to time. And it's a wonderful experience. And if you've never been out west, like, the mountains are gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's like a painting. Like, it's not real.
Hands down, it's now one of my favorite places in the U.S. to visit. So.
And I will say this, the first year that we did go, I bought both of our tickets. And we had no idea how it was going to work out. We literally bought our plane ticket, the day before we left. Like it literally was like a prayer, and I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I got these tickets, so I got to go. So, and it just fell into place. So if you have the desire, know that you want to go, buy your ticket, let everything else fall into place. Because, I mean, again, it was just amazing how it worked out for us.
And one other thing that, like, I always share with people. Oh, Jennifer, do you want to say something? You can go ahead.
Her little hand pops up. That's cute.
Well, I know, and I keep turning my video off because I'm like sniffling, and I was making dinner. No, I'm super excited about convention. I'm super excited because I've wanted to go the past couple years, and then this last year when you guys were at convention, I bought the early bird tickets, and I just was like, because my husband's coming with me, so I'm super excited, and I definitely want to sign him up for like the men and oils class, and for him to meet you guys too, because he's not as excited about everything as I am, but yeah, I'm super excited to meet all you guys and to learn more and everything too.
Yeah, after convention he will be. After convention he will be. Like, I saw such a huge
the
change.
farm. Yeah, he's gonna love the farm.
Yeah, I saw such a huge change in both Teddy and Anthony. Like, when they
Really?
went, like, because
I know, I'm super excited.
Because Teddy didn't go the first year that Leah went. So the first time that Anthony went was Teddy's first time as well. And the other thing, like, I share with people is, like, so Leah started only like 6 months before I did. She went to the first convention and I didn't go, and she moved so much faster. Like, she hit silver in 6. Like, they always say that going to convention accelerates your business and the growth by 10 times. And then I talked to some of the other people that were on our planning team, and they've been with Young Living for like 4 years and they've never gone to convention. And I'm like, so we have these people here that are silvers and golds. We've all been to convention. You're an executive. You've never been in 4 years. So if you really want to accelerate your business, like Dana said, buy your ticket. Get off this call, buy your ticket, figure out how you're going to get there later. Like seriously, you have 2 months to get there. You're on these calls so that we can help you hit executive and make $550 a month. Figure out how you're going to get there later, but get your ticket tonight.
Yeah, I think you guys drove the year before, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I did the first time. We drove all the way out there, and that required us driving like within a 27-hour period on the way back. Like we missed the closing concert and drove 27 hours. Like we literally had to stop at like 7 a.m. and take a nap for 4 hours and go to work the next day. That's what we had to do to make it my first year.
We're driving too,
Yeah.
but it's only like 16 hours or 13 or something like that.
Yeah, it's if you drive it straight through, I think it's like 27 hours from Michigan. Got to go through a lot of states to get there. So, all right. Any questions or last thoughts from anyone before we close the call?
2 minutes.
Where do you find the tickets?
Are we going to have a team meal or a team dinner or lunch or something?
We do. We usually do have team dinners. Yeah.
Okay.
And we will repost it over in the Happy Oilers page, and we'll put it in the group chat.
I want Dana
ticket?
to do my
Oh,
facial.
for the ticket.
I want to get a facial.
Yes, Felicia. How to get the tickets? We'll post it.
You want to say hi?
Cool.
Hi. Unfortunately, we can't request Dana. I did walk in there. I'm like,
darn.
yeah. But the facials are amazing. I'm definitely getting one.
I'm going to get a facial, and I'm going to try to get a raindrop massage for my husband.
Yes. You got to do that. Any other questions, guys? All right. Awesome call. So by the morning, the replay will be sent. So again, send it to all of your people that missed it for sure. Encourage them to get on the call, as well as I will be sending out, what next week's assignments are. And appreciate everyone who's jumping back in or jumping in for the first or second time. So yeah, get on the Vital 180 training. We're in the middle of the Senior Star. You can definitely hop in there and go back and do some of the other stuff later. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you for being on. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Everybody.